I'm quite stunned to be up here because on Saturday morning we didn't know what on earth we were going to code. But we began the event by being challenged to change the world with technology and encouraged to think big. And we ended up thinking about some of the information problems that go along with human trafficking and the situations that people find themselves in. Victims don't know the dangers that they put themselves in before they end up in the hands of traffickers. And it's difficult to raise awareness in the source countries because traffickers are very easily able to exploit the desires of people to migrate to better circumstances. They convince them that they're heading to secure jobs. Upon arrival, however, victims might be in a totally different country to the one they intended, stripped of their possessions, without any support network, and often imprisoned. And at this stage, it's often too late to reach them effectively. So, over the weekend, we built a prototype of a web and mobile service which aims to reach vulnerable people before they travel, and to give them access to information when they need it, and to put them on the map for organisations who can help them. So Safe Trip aims to offer services that might be attractive to people heading out on a journey that they know might be somewhat risky. We offer the service that we will forward SMS messages to contacts, both telephone contacts and email addresses back in the home country. This is a kind of reduced cost or free service. Registration for the service aims to be as simple and quick as possible. We request a minimum of information from the user, and virtually all of those fields are optional, so as not to make people uncomfortable about giving too much information up front. But we do have to identify the user so that we can route their messages and keep some idea of the journey that they're going on. So after registration, we give them a single credential, a secret word, which they can use in any subsequent communication, and that will uniquely identify their account. So in the minimal system which we implemented over the weekend, there are 3 basic actions that the user can text. I'll illustrate them with a web interface that also exists. You can say, you can use the word update, and that will forward a message about how you're doing to your chosen forwarding contacts. If you see on the it seems like back is doing next. Okay, that's the correct slide. There are different shortcodes for different countries that people might travel through, and based on the number that they text, we get at least some idea of where they are. As well as update, you can text safe at any time, and this is critical in the kind of information incentives of the system. People can at any time ask for their details to be completely removed from the system, and we think that this is necessary, otherwise they may never sign up in the first place if they feel like they have no control over their data. You can also text help, and this will kick off a help process based on the country that you're in. It will contact people back home, forward details to trusted partner organisations that work with people at risk of trafficking, and respond to the phone or to the website with useful information for the country in question. And during the hack, we used mobile phone APIs from Bluvia, who were a sponsor, to make all this possible. So one of the side effects of this is that we build up a picture of where people are and what they're doing, which can be useful to potentially trusted partner organisations who work with trafficked people. And this information could be available also via the website. Now, this idea had a really positive reception when we presented it at the Hack Day. But I think you can see it's still in a very early stage. The positive feedback felt really nice, and people said that they thought we should take it forward and try and make something real out of this. And on Monday, I phoned a friend who works at Bethnal Green Ventures, and they specialise in taking these kind of social initiatives forward into reality. And that telephone call was a total downer. She told me that we didn't have a product or even an idea yet. What we had was a hunch about the way the world works. And I think she's right. And when you have a hunch like this, the next thing to do is to list all the assumptions that you've made and scrutinise each one of them and try and work out whether there is anything that can actually be taken forward. I think we have to think about targeting this very specifically at people who would actually benefit from it. Obviously, interpreting it into local languages, the legal situation around holding information on people, data storage has to be extremely secure. The site and the service have to have very high availability and 100% accuracy when you're dealing with sensitive information like this. We have to provide access to these services without becoming victims of free riders who would just use them as a free way of texting people. So our next step is to get as much information as possible on all of these things, and if anyone here can offer input on any of those questions, I'd love to talk to you afterwards. Thank you very much.